Yo, 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 what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right, so shout out to the late night people that's in the building early. It's good to see each and every one of you. If you guys can hear me okay, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you cannot hear me, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. And while you are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody in the building. And right now, it's just me and my man, Win Loser Rug. What's good with it, bro? So what we're going to do is we're going to try to run through this stream real quick because some new information came out about Tren De Aragua and Aurora, Colorado that I think is pretty important. So we're going to add that to the docket. We're going to add that to the library. And we also got some very weird and interesting things going on in California that we're going to run through briefly. And as you're watching this stream, this will take you to the stream that we're going to do in the morning. Shout out to my man, AB Promotions. We're going to break down this video where Sabby Sabs addresses Roland Martin about some things. So we're going to check that out and see what that's hitting for. All right. So let's take a look at this article right here. Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert hosts roundtable discussion on alleged gang activity in Aurora. Now, this is interesting because I didn't know that this had took place. I didn't know that she had addressed this or said anything, but apparently she did. Boebert heard from state and local leaders and concerned residents. So, you know, this didn't get too much, play. So we're going to take a quick listen real quick and see exactly what they say in this video. And then we're going to take a listen to the article. If you guys haven't smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. If you guys haven't hit the bell and subscribe to the channel, take a moment, hit the bell, subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't shared the stream out, make sure you guys share the stream to somebody that you know who is interested in this type of content. All right, we got about 13 seconds left on this ad. Hopefully we'll be able to get this bad boy out the way, and then we can get this video started. All right, so let's see what they talking about. Let's see, hit this volume real quick. All right.
Well, today several lawmakers, including Lauren Boebert, held a roundtable in Aurora to discuss recent developments regarding the Venezuelan gang members in that area. Now, Aurora police confirmed to Denver 7 it has documented 10 members of the TDA gang in the city. They also say 6 have been arrested. But we now know that this is sparking such debate among politicians and you, of course, about what is and isn't true about that gang's presence.
Denver 7's Brandon Richard went to the roundtable and shows the new claim getting attention tonight.
Well, Congresswoman Lauren Boebert invited a Texas congressman here to Aurora, where they held a roundtable discussion about an issue that's really become a national story. It also gave them an opportunity to hear from local officials as well as concerned residents.
You guys don't know what it feels like to be a minority in your own home? I'm telling you, it's terrifying.
Cindy Romero says she lived in constant fear every night as a tenant at the Edge at Lowry Apartments in Aurora. It's an apartment complex, a video that has since gone viral.
Them guns that morning. I called and reported it. I have cameras picking them up, moving the guns from one building to another.
She shared her story during a roundtable hosted by Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. Boebert doesn't represent any part of Aurora, nor would she represent the neighborhoods the apartments are located in if she's elected to the 4th district in November.
Purpose of this meeting was to get information out to Coloradans because unfortunately the media has done the complete opposite. They want to cover this up and label it as a conspiracy.
The roundtable was held on the same day Boebert and Colorado Congressman Greg Lopez sent a letter to the Secretary of Homeland Security, the FBI director, and the acting director of ICE. They cited several claims made by a Denver law firm, which says it investigated crime at an Aurora apartment complex and found evidence of gangs committing several crimes, from assault and battery to firearm possession.
So now here's my thing, right? We got all these letters that pretty much basically substantiate all of this stuff. My question to everybody watching is, why do you all think that the media is doing such a overtime job in trying to hide this? It's kind of wild.
But one that stood out most, claims of sexually abusing children.
This is a nonpartisan law firm that has come.
Now, as far as that claim goes, what's interesting about that is that seems like it's similar to a lot of the crimes. Yeah, shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. Yeah, facts. You know, she was gonna jump on it first because that's what she do. Jump on it first. You know what I'm saying?
Sent a letter to the Secretary of Homeland Security, the FBI director, and the acting director of ICE. They cited several claims made by a Denver law firm, which says it investigated crime at an Aurora apartment complex and found evidence of gangs committing several crimes, from assault and battery to firearm possessions. But one that stood out most, claims of sexually abusing children.
Is a nonpartisan law firm that has come out with this. This is information that is vetted. It is nonpartisan.
The law firm's findings were outlined in a letter sent to Aurora's interim police chief, the mayor, and city manager. Aurora police tell us the city received the letter and immediately included it in its ongoing investigative work. APD did not say, however, if the claims made by the law firm were true. But that's not stopping Boebert of accusing the media of trying to gloss over it.
Because we have a media that wants to cover up anything that does not go with the narrative of wide open borders, anything that aligns with sanctuary policies put forward by the Democrats in office.
Shout out to AW1. What's good with it, bro?
In Aurora, Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
All right, so let's see what they're talking about right here.
An Aurora Police Department says it continues to aggressively investigate and pursue any criminal activity reported or busy management.
And Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman spent the week meeting with tenants from the apartment complexes we're talking about. And in a post on social media today, he says gang members are not in control of them. However, he says he believes gang-related problems cause property management to leave.
Let me ask you guys this. So we got to break this down, right? If the gang is not in control, the gang has caused the property management to leave. Question is, I mean, obvious, but the question would then be who's actually in control? You know what I'm saying? We asked that question before, but it's like you got to keep asking this stuff.
For the property owner yesterday and offered to place 2 Aurora police officers at each complex for 2 weeks if the owner is willing to provide on-site property managers. The city manager says it's still waiting for a response.
Yeah, that place, it doesn't look very welcoming. Let me ask you guys this question. How many of y'all would live at that place? If you guys would live there, give me a thumbs up. If you guys wouldn't live there, give me a thumbs down. I wouldn't live there. That place looks extremely ratchet. You know what I'm saying? So let's we're gonna check down here real quick. Yeah, basically they just gave a yeah, basically this is just a transcript of what was in that video. All right, cool. So we're gonna take a look at this next article. This next article shares an interview between the mayor, Mike Kaufman, and some people who were, I think, some tenants and possibly some media people who were listening to what he was saying. So let's see what this says. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up. And real quick, shout out to y'all that's watching. I appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media. All right, so let's see. Here we go. Boom, boom. There we go. All right, cool. Let's get it. Let's see. We'll pull that down. We're just going to do like this.
He's talking about, I don't see any criminals here. I think we all know who the real criminals here are.
The reality is that there have been some violent incidents.
Shout out to Jesse. What's good with it, bro?
That we're fully aware of.
They're trying to say that here there's delinquents, that here there's criminals, here there's moms, there's families, there's fathers, there's families.
There has been mixed messaging in the last few days about claims of a Venezuelan gang taking over an Aurora apartment complex. Well, tonight, we're hearing directly from the people who live there and from Mayor Mike Kaufman. I'm glad you're with us tonight. I'm Shannon Ogden.
And I'm Jessica Crawford. We'll hear more from Mayor Kaufman in just a moment. But first, let's go back to how we got to this point.
You've likely seen this video. It surfaced over the weekend, making national headlines and causing panic. But despite our best efforts to get answers, not much context surrounding it.
A Facebook post by Mayor Mike Kaufman perhaps added to the panic when the mayor called for an emergency court order to clear the apartment buildings of Venezuelan gang activity, declaring the properties a criminal nuisance. And Aurora police then posted that a special task force was working in collaboration with state, local, and federal partners to address the gangs.
Meanwhile, a different message from Aurora city officials proclaiming Aurora is a safe place.
So my question here then is, who's in control? Because again, every time they say something like this, it kind of gives away who's in control of this situation, right? They keep saying that the gang's not in control, but they're making all of these special provisions and moving in all of these different directions to try to avoid the gang, and they still haven't gotten them out of there. Who's gotten out of there is the people that allegedly run the place. So if the people that allegedly run the place are gone and the gang is still there, who's running the place? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section.
To live, work, and visit. Then, as recently as yesterday, Aurora police saying they didn't find anyone with an outstanding warrant or any other criminal activity while canvassing the apartment complex.
The mayor of Aurora says that he wants to get this under control, but in a one-on-one with Denver 7, he stopped short of saying that Venezuelan gangsters have taken control of apartment complexes.
Denver 7's Colette Bordelon spoke with the mayor today and tells us what he thinks is a problem for those people in those buildings.
Of a national conversation.
I would ask people not to take a broad brush about our city.
Specifically, 3 apartment complexes where people are coming to see for themselves. After a viral video showing armed men at a complex off of Dallas Street led to questions without clear answers.
I think it's an out-of-state slumlord and hasn't maintained the properties.
Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman sat down with us on Tuesday to address allegations that apartment complexes in Aurora have been taken over by the Venezuelan gang Tren De Aragua, or TDA.
The reality is that there have been some violent incidents at the property that we're fully aware of.
Have you been able to confirm any Tren De Aragua activity within those complexes?
I think the view is kind of mixed on that. Quite frankly, that part is not relevant to me. Now, the DEA has confirmed to me that.
Now, let me ask you guys this. Why would that not be relevant? If you ask me, having a transnational gang take over a portion of your city, regardless of how big the real estate area is a huge deal. If you guys think that that's a huge deal, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that that's a huge deal, give me a thumbs down. I find that wild that he said that in a documented interview with the media. I don't think that that's relevant to me. Wow.
Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman sat down with us on Tuesday to address allegations that apartment complexes in Aurora have been taken over by the Venezuelan gang Tren De Aragua, or TDA.
The reality is that there have been some violent incidents at the property that we're fully aware of.
Have you been able to confirm any Tren De Aragua activity within those complexes?
I think the view is kind of mixed on that. Quite frankly, that part is not relevant to me. Now, the DEA has confirmed to me that there are Tren De Aragua elements that are.
It seems like it's pretty relevant to everybody else, and it really seems like it's relevant to the people who are there at that apartment. So, being that he's their elected representative, you would think that it would be a little bit more of a priority.
Are involved in fentanyl distribution.
Aurora police are concerned about what they call a small TDA presence in the city. They continue to say they have seized at least one gun and additional evidence related to the video that's circulating on social media.
I think that there is gang activity, whether it's Tren De Aragua, I don't know.
We asked the resident whose doorbell camera took that viral video for an interview today. They told us we have to get a password from Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky before they will interview with us.
I don't understand why somebody would be censored, why an elected official would be trying to censor someone.
He visited the Edge at Lowry Apartments with police on Monday and says he spoke with several residents who he believes are mainly migrants from Venezuela.
There's just this system of exploitation there with this criminal element that hangs over the population.
Kaufman plans to launch an investigation into how this happened.
Let me ask you guys this question. When it comes to this Kaufman guy, does it seem like he's prepared for this interview? If you ask me, it seems like this dude has no idea what's going on. He's completely behind the ball. He's just completely uninformed, and he's trying to wing it and looking really bad doing it. If you guys agree that that's what's going on, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that that's what's going on and something else is up, then let me know what you guys think.
Believes it'll show that nonprofits not working with the city placed Venezuelan migrants in the apartment complexes.
And we're gonna walk it back to understand what happened and make sure it never happens again.
Colette Bordelon.
All right, so there's that. All right. So now next, what we got is some updates with what went on with the apartment complex. All right. And what's interesting about it, shout out to Shamika. What's good with it, Shamika? Shout out to DeAndre. What's good with it, bro? What went on with the apartment complex is now the apartment complex is for sale. You know what I'm saying? The apartment complex is now for sale. So we're going to take a look at that real quick. Give me 1 second because these ads got my computer running real slow. And if you guys haven't smashed the like button real quick, please help me out by taking a moment to smash that like button. All right. Let me see. Hold on. What is going on here? Close. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. I apologize. I don't know what is going on here. I might have to open up a new window. Yeah, there we go. Because that ad just killed that. All right, cool. Yeah, them apartments about to be a government property. Facts, bro. Big facts. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Owners of gang-affected apartment complex negotiates agreement with Aurora to sell or lease property. So they getting rid of this prop. So this is actually kind of, it seems like what's going to end up happening here is that I think that they let this apartment complex run completely down. And since they let it run completely down and get it out of control, now they're going to be able to get the minimum amount of cash from not putting any repairs into it. And then they'll just be able to skirt off into the middle of the night. It's wild how they did that. You know what I'm saying? Owner of gang-affected apartment building negotiates agreement with Aurora to sell or lease the property. Aspen Grove was known to have Venezuelan gang activity before being shut down by the city in August. All right. So actually, I think this might be a different place. I think this, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Aurora officials agreed. Look at this. Aurora officials agreed to drop all charges against the owner of Aspen Grove apartment complex in exchange for selling the property or leasing it or a similar disposition and assuming the cost to board up and secure the building, the Denver Gazette has learned. Under an agreement between the city and known partners, officials agreed to drop dozens of charges against Zev Baumgarten for failing to maintain the property at 1568 Nome Street in Aurora, according to documents obtained under the Colorado Open Records Act. Now, let me ask you guys a question. When it comes to talking about this, this is the first that we're hearing about. This is the first that we're hearing about any charges, right? That they had to play so ratchet. You know what I'm saying? That they was getting charges put on them. Shout out to Terrence Monger. Definitely appreciate you standing on business and becoming a member. And shout out to all the members and shout out to everybody who would like to become a member, please do so. It's very cheap. It's only 99 cents, and it helps me immensely. Make sure you guys throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Terrence for becoming a member.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on.
Definitely appreciate it, bro. Shout out to AW1. AW1 says, yo, Rob, they can just get rid of the bad seeds in that apartment complex. Yeah, and they'll probably tear it down and build it back up and kind of like gentrify the area. You know what I'm saying? Which is wild. Well, and shout out to Jesse, because Jesse is out there. What do you think, bro? Is my assumptions somewhat right, or are we kind of, you know what I'm saying? Am I kind of off in my assessment? Let me know. So now here it says, in exchange, Baumgarten agreed to waive his right to a speedy trial, and Gnome Partners, LLC, agreed to sell or lease the property and, among other things, pay up to $60,000 of the cost to clean up and secure the complex. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Do you all think that this deal costs more or less than it will cost to get the building up to code? If you guys think that it will cost more to get the building up to code, give me a thumbs up. If you think that it will cost less to get the building up to code, then give me a thumbs down. I think that it's going to cost less, and that's one of the reasons why they took this way out. Notably, the agreement said the apartment's owners may re-tenant the building, provided that the building is in compliance with city code, which is wild. Like, really, so what's the real actual punishment here? Court documents show that Baumgarten was also charged for similar violations at his Edge of Lowry apartments at 1258 Dallas Street. Now, that Edge of Lowry apartments, if I'm not mistaken, I think that Edge of Lowry apartments, I think that is the apartment where, I think that's the one where that viral video is taking place at. So this is a completely different building. So all of this person's buildings that they own are trash. And if you ask me, I think this dude might be like one of them folks with that name, and his business is based out of Brooklyn. So you already know it's going to be some slum and human exploitation type stuff. You know what I'm saying? These two complexes, as well as Whispering Pines complex at 1357 Galena Street, have all been affected by gangs. So again, it's interesting because like this on a small scale is what I be telling you about, how these political parties run that hustle of creating politics to let an area get completely run down. They bring the real estate all the way down, and then they revitalize it at a low price and rent the revitalized real estate out at a high price. They do this all over the place. This literally is the process of gentrification. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, based in Brooklyn, CBZ Management operates these three complexes and rental apartments in New York and Colorado, with 11 properties in Denver, Aurora, Colorado Springs, and Pueblo. Now, you know what's fascinating about this? As much as CBD management, what is it called? CBZ management, as much scrutiny as they've been under, no one's seen a face of any of these people that run this place. Nobody has seen this Baumgarten person. Why do you guys think that is? That person is somewhere in New York. Now, New York is dealing with a migrant crisis, but nobody's reached out and spoken to that person. They're probably pretty insulated. They probably got a nice amount of money to be able to protect themselves from any type of investigation. You know what I'm saying? Last month, officials shuttered Aspen Grove, evicting roughly 300 people, citing a string of health and safety issues that included rodent infestations, sewage backups, trash pileups, water leaks, and a lack of electricity. You're not even supposed to have anybody living in a place if there's no electricity. That's just ridiculous. You're not even supposed to have anyone living there if there's no electricity. Like, come on, man. Through a Florida PR firm, the company blamed the deteriorating conditions at the Aspen Grove on gang activity, an allegation that city officials initially denied and then later walked back. As early as June, an attorney representing the landlords sent a flurry of letters obtained and authenticated by the Denver Gazette to police, state, and local officials seeking help with the Venezuelan gang, which the lawyers said had forcibly taken control over the property. Now, here's my thing, right? This is what I think happened. I think that the place could have been under control, but the place was let to run down on purpose. Once the place was perceivably run down on purpose, this slumlord knew that it was run down like this and said, now I can opportunize on this gang infesting the place, and I'm going to get ahead of this nonsense by sending out all of these letters. I'm going to jump ahead of this situation by sending out all of these letters, you know what I'm saying? And that way it's going to look like I'm trying to be proactive. Once I'm under the appearance of looking proactive and I get the national news involved, I could kind of fall back because now I've positioned this to where it's a migrant crisis issue and it doesn't really look like it's so much my issue. But I think that this building owner is just as shady. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. Yeah, I agree, bro. Win, Lose, or Rug said those are insane conditions. What did they leave their country for? Facts. Shout out to Jesse. Jesse said, Rob, I heard earlier yesterday on the local news that Mayor Kaufman met with CBZ management. Oh, really? I wonder what that meeting was like. I wish they had televised it. Shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre said Tyler Oliveira, or whatever his name is, went to Aurora and asked tenants there some questions. They said they're paying $1,300 to $1,400 a month to stay there. Yo, that's crazy. How many of y'all would pay $1,300 to $1,400 to stay at that place? If y'all would, give me a thumbs up. If y'all wouldn't, give me a thumbs down. And speaking of thumbs up and thumbs down, if you guys could take a moment and smash that like button, hit the bell if you're not subscribed to the channel. Also, please share the stream to your social media. Right now, we got 19 people watching and we got 12 likes. Let's try to get the likes to 30. All right. So now here it says the landlord also sought to hire off-duty police officers to provide security for the properties, a request that the Aurora Police Department declined. Now they kind of messed up by doing that. They probably didn't know that this dude had this alleged scheme going on. He was told we didn't have the staffing to provide adequate security at all his properties, Joe Moylan, an Aurora police spokesperson, has said of the police department's conversations with Baumgarten. The Aurora Police Department is roughly at 90% of its authorized complement with 682 sworn officers, according to the most recent city data. Now, let me ask you guys a question. With 90% of its authorized complement, they couldn't send anybody over there at 90%? That's not bad, right? Shout out to Seduction Doll. What's good with it? Shout out to Patrick. What's good with you, bro? Yeah, facts. A slumlord. That's what this dude is, a slumlord. Operating out of Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Out of a tunnel. 2 properties owned by CBZ management saw the number of citations and reported crime double since 2022, according to a report from the Common Sense Institute. At one property, the crime had nearly doubled, said the study, which used publicly available data sets. Federal officials believe that the Venezuelan... Hold on real quick. My bad, y'all. Federal officials believe that the Venezuelan prison gang Tren De Aragua, or TDA, is operating in the Denver metro area, although local politicians insist that the gang's footprint is small. Now, let me ask you guys a question. When they say that the gang's footprint is small, what do they mean, small? Small relative to what? Because any gang's influence would be quote unquote small if we're talking about relative to the population, right? The prison gang is linked to a diverse portfolio of criminal activities that includes drug trafficking, human trafficking, and particularly immigrant women and girls, extortion, and money laundering. And again, pay very close attention when it comes to these undocumented crimes, all of the crimes that they do that are against women. You know what I'm saying? It's very bizarre. Not very good either. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the ladies. Y'all might want to make sure that y'all, you know what I'm saying, be going to the firing range to make sure that y'all can defend yourself, especially if you out there. Victims are often deleted by gang members, with their deaths publicized as a way to intimidate others from coming forward, according to government officials. Venezuelans are among nearly 43,000 immigrants who have come to Denver after illegally crossing the U.S.-Mexico border over the past 22 months. So now here's my question. If you ask me how I would consider gang violence, especially migrant gang violence, size relative, is I would compare the ratios of how many immigrants of that given group have come over the border versus how many have been prosecuted for crimes. And whichever has the largest number We would have to look at it based on a proportion. And if there's one that's disproportionately large or disproportionately small, those will be the start and end points. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. I don't know what type of metrics they're using. So now here it says officials estimate about half of those stayed. More than 7 million Venezuelans have fled since President Nicolas Maduro assumed power in 2013, plunging the country into economic and political chaos. Gnome Partners LLC, so that's the name of the company, purchased the 99-unit property from Fitz 2018 LLC on December 17th, 2019 for $12,375,000. These type of companies with these type of names, Gnome Partner and Fitz 2018 LLC, these are shady companies. If you guys would agree, these are shady LLC companies that probably change names every 2 years for like tax evasion and real estate fraud purposes. Give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that that's what's going on, and give me a thumbs down. As of Friday, the property was not listed on CoStar, a database for commercial listings. The agreement with Aurora was signed on August 12th, a day before the city evicted about 300 residents and boarded up the property. The agreement between the property owner and the city gave Aurora the permission to evict residents on August 13th. Now, how many people knew about that? If you guys knew about that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't, give me a thumbs down. So it was the city that got the people up out of there. City officials said they have documented health and safety issues at the complex since at least February of 2021. Now, mind you, they still said that these people could operate. If they have such an extensive history of horrible management, why would you allow them to continue to operate? And shout out to DeAndre for being a like enforcer. Make sure you guys throw some like enforcers in the chat for DeAndre. I appreciate it, bro. While CBZ management said the gang's presence precluded it from maintaining the building, it's hard to say how public perception is going to impact the value of a property, said Brian Campbell, a commercial real estate broker with Caldwell Bankers. Yeah, probably pretty bad. Nobody look at this place. That looks horrible, man. Look at that. That looks like the projects for real. Shout out to Seduction Doll. Seduction Doll said, I live a few blocks away. I went on a late night creep, like 1 a.m. creep the other night, sat in the parking lot 45 minutes, dressed like my area, so I was thugging. It was dead. A few lights. Man, look at that place. That place looks terrible. That looks like the type of place where like something shady would go down on a movie. You know what I'm saying? That don't look cool at all. That don't look cool at all. You know what I'm saying? So now what we're about to do is we're about to take a look at this overview, all right? Because the Denver Gazette came with an overview that gives a little bit of insight and more information about the entire Tren De Aragua situation, all right? Yeah, it do. Facts. It look like an urban prison. Bro, who ever seen Candyman? The way that they depicted Caprini Green on Candyman, that's exactly what that looked like. That's exactly like what that looked like. Shout out to DeAndre for enforcing the 1-to-1 ratio. Put that 1.1 in the chat. Put that 1.1 in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate it. Like enforcing. Venezuelan gang, Tren De Aragua in Colorado. Here's what you need to know. So it's so unimportant that, local media is doing articles about it, right? Venezuelan gang, Tren De Aragua in Colorado. Here's what we need to know. Tren De Aragua, Venezuela's largest criminal gang, has established a presence in the Denver metro area. Again, the local media is saying this, but it's unimportant. Tren De Aragua, a violent gang that originated in the prisons of Venezuela, has expanded its reach far beyond South American country and established a foothold in the Denver metro area, according to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. All right. So, again, let me ask you guys a question. Is this a direct result of the Biden-Harris presidency? If you guys would say that this is a direct result of the Biden-Harris presidency, give me a thumbs up. If it's not the result of the Biden-Harris presidency and you guys think that there's some other factors involved, then give me a thumbs down and also let me know what those other factors are. All right. Described by the U.S. government as Venezuela's most powerful criminal gang, authorities says it operates sex trafficking networks and exploits Venezuelan migrants. So, I mean, it goes hand in hand. It's like they would travel within the migrants to get here because they're probably exploiting the migrants on the way here. I mean, I wish I couldn't understand. You know what I'm saying? Right. Shout out to Arsenic Lullaby. Arsenic Lullaby says presence, they took over a building, New Jack style. Facts. Shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre says no, because immigration has been an issue since the 1980s. This is true. This is another ploy by the Republicans to gain votes. I would agree. They're absolutely exploiting this. And at the same time, we can't forget that in most cases, most of those migrants who are in Denver probably got there via Greg Abbott. Right? Right? Now, here's my question. I do, however, I agree with you, DeAndre, but I do believe that the Biden-Harris administration and their policies have compiled on that problem and made it worse, not better. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a couple things that could happen. It could slow down, it could stop, it could get worse, or it could get completely better, right? And what we see happening is that it got worse. So my thing would be, what made that be the ongoing outcome? And here's my question. Was it different under Trump? Or we could also ask the question, was it different under Obama? You know what I'm saying? We could ask the question, was it different under Clinton, Bush? You know what I mean? We and I think that we should actually ask all those questions, because I think that what needs to happen is that there needs to be a thorough investigation into American policy to see what was the best. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DeAndre. DeAndre said, I'm just BSing, talking like the left. This is for sure an issue caused by the Biden-Harris policy. But I would say that there was some truth in what you said, though, because immigration has been an issue since the 80s. You know what I'm saying? It is. And I do believe that Republicans are using this as a ploy to increase the likelihood of people voting for them. You know what I mean? I agree with all those plots, because you could actually show evidence of all of it. You know what I'm saying? I would be being intellectually dishonest if I said that all of that wasn't true, right? Shout out to the specialist. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to Jesse. Jesse said Obama started DACA. Yeah. Wasn't he responsible for Dreamers as well? Shout out to Arsenic. Arsenic said, truth, it's been bad since the 80s, but who's going to stop it now in 2024 is the question. Facts. And to answer that question, it does not seem like the Biden-Harris administration is interested in stopping it, which is kind of bad, because what that shows is that they're not acknowledging a problem. And the problem also is that the political landscape has gotten so polarized and so skewed that what we're talking about here, right, we're simply discussing a criminal gang. I'm not saying to, deport people who are just immigrants who are coming through legal pathways. I'm saying they need to deal with the criminal element, which would include proper vetting, making sure that people have IDs when they go to vote, all of that stuff, right? But I'm not saying to just abusively deport everybody who happens to be an immigrant. I'm not saying that. But because the way that the political landscape has been manipulated by the left and the right for purposes of greed and for purposes of votes, you can't even have an honest conversation about stuff like this, and they're solely responsible for it. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. The propagandist politicians are the fault of the reason why we can't even have conversations about this kind of stuff without it being emotionally charged for purposes of exploitation and attempting to make people look like xenophobes, and they're not. Because I'm not xenophobic. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure that, what are we going to say? If somebody lives in this apartment complex and they're dealing with residual issues from this Venezuelan migrant gang, and they say that makes them a xenophobe, that's not fair. You know what I mean? Shout out to Patrick. Patrick says, well, I say deport all illegals. I would agree with that. Again, because what I said is make sure that people are coming through utilizing the legal pathways, right? So if you come in using an illegal pathway, you've committed a crime. And if you're committing a crime, all they do, the Democrats and the Republicans, is talk about the rule of law. But here's how they bend the rule of law: by making criminal acts non-criminal. And this is, I was watching TD's live stream that he did. Shout out to TD Hip Hop Media, or TD Media Group. He did a live stream, and it was talking about Kamala Harris was saying not to prosecute, like undocumented people are not illegal. That's not true. And what that shows me, as far as Kamala Harris goes, is that if you look at her history as a prosecutor, she has a history of over prosecuting people that have not committed violent crimes and violent felonies, but she has a history of advocating for people who have committed serious crimes like border violations and immigration fraud. Would you, if you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Jay. Jay said, I'm like Pokemon, catch them all. You want Ash Ketchum to be down there on that border, huh? You want Ash Ketchum with the Pokeball to be down there. That's hilarious, man. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate everybody in here. If you guys haven't smashed the like button, take a moment, hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. So now here it says back in April, the chief of the U.S. Border Patrol warned Americans to watch out for this gang. And if you guys recall, we talked about that on Undocumented Bros. There's old videos from last year warning about Tren De Aragua. Of course, YouTube, now that Tren De Aragua is hot in the algorithm, those videos still haven't gone anywhere, which is interesting how they're not getting found in the search, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're known for deletion, drug trafficking, sex crimes, extortion, and other violent acts. The gang is making headlines in Colorado after its members have been accused of a jewelry heist, a beating, shootings, and barging into apartment units with rifles. I mean, they busting into the apartments more aggressive than the police are busting into the apartments trying to figure things out. You know what I mean? They busting into the apartments more aggressive than the police trying to figure things out. So now they asked the question here, what is the Tren De Aragua gang? Tren De Aragua is Venezuela's largest criminal gang. It originated more than a decade ago as a prison gang, run entirely out of the Talkin prison, according to a report by the Washington Examiner. We should check this report out. How many of y'all want to look at this report? Washington Examiner messes my computer up, but if y'all want to look at it, we can look at it, though. Now, this report came out on August 24th of or August 29th of 2024. Let's see. Yeah, we could look at that if y'all want to. Like I said, Washington Examiner, though, man, they got to get their script together, man, because I swear they stuff be messing my computer up like crazy. How you said, Canada, Shamika? The gang is believed to have about 5,000 members with annual profits between 10 and 15 million, according to a report by Telemundo. How long? And you know what? I'm actually going to pull this up. Actually, I might just make these two things another stream. I'm going to just make these another stream. What y'all think about that? Let me see. Yeah, we're just gonna make that another stream. Let me see something real quick. Translate to English, boom. Detected language English, boom. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Man, that's amazing. Like I'm telling you, technology is amazing. There's no excuse for anybody to like not be able to do or get anything that they want as far as using technology nowadays, because technology can literally do anything for you. Like that is amazing. I just translated that article into English. Yeah, in fact, shout out to Jesse. Rest in peace to Elijah McClain. Yeah, and the Denver police, they can't get rid of Tren De Aragua, but they found a reason to harass his father and get him put in jail. You know what I'm saying? In Aurora, Colorado, Clown City, where they got police officers that's accused of raping their own children. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story for another day. How long has Tren De Aragua been in Colorado? It's unclear how long the Venezuelan gang has been operating in Colorado. However, the gang is reported to have expanded to North America prior to the raid of Talkin prison in 2023. Now, you guys remember, we did a video talking about the raid of the Talkin prison. That's that prison that was down there in South America where they had the nightclubs inside the prison. They got a casino inside the prison. They got restaurants inside the prison. They be having club night inside the prison. That Talkin prison is crazy. And there was a raid on it. Where in Colorado is the Tren De Aragua gang? Officials within the U.S. Department of Homeland Security have said the Venezuelan gang is operating in the Denver region. So I don't know why the local people keep saying that they don't know what's going on with this gang when the U.S. Department of Homeland Security has said that the gang is operating in Denver. Local officials have said that they recently arrested several members of the gang. What crimes has the Venezuelan gang been linked to? To date, TDA gang members have been linked to a jewelry heist in North Denver, the beating of a man in the Aspen Grove complex, and a shooting in Aurora. So you guys know the Aspen Grove complex. That's the one that we just talked about, where that slumlord apartment owner was able to get that sweetheart deal to get rid of the apartment property and get a little bit of cash back and still be able to operate his illegitimate business. You know what I'm saying? How does Tren De Aragua operate? According to Venezuelan journalist Ronnie Rezez, the modus operandi for Tren De Aragua is adaptability, a broad criminal portfolio, and violence. It is linked to a range of crimes, including drug trafficking, illegal mining, extortion, migrant smuggling, trafficking of women for sexual exploitation, kidnapping, and several others. The gang is known for recording its crimes to intimidate rival gangs. As reported by Risquez and relayed by U.S. federal agents, the gang is known for its ability to adapt and negotiate, forming partnerships with local gangs for quote-unquote black market opportunities to participate in more crimes. So what it sounds like is that this prison gang has they have a strength, they have an innovation of business adaptability. It seems like they're savvy business people. If you guys would agree that this gang seems like they're kind of savvy business people, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree and you don't think that they're too savvy and you think they got something else going on, then give me a thumbs down. What apartment complex in Aurora is Tren De Aragua accused of taking over? All right, so it's the 3 complexes owned by this company here, CBZ Management. And they'll probably change their name so they could wipe their record clean of this and continue to do the same thing that they've been doing. So I would pay attention. The 3 apartments are Aspen Grove, Whispering Pine, and the Edge at Lowry. Letters obtained by the Denver Gazette from the law firm representing CBZ Management has said that the company had been informed that Aurora multifamily projects have been forcibly taken control of by gangs that have immigrated here from Venezuela. Now, you know one thing that I find interesting about this situation that nobody's really asked about? Have you guys noticed that none of the apartment staff, like none of the maintenance people, none of the rental office people, none of those people have like whistleblown or have said anything to the media? You guys notice that? Like that's like usually like in these kind of situations, somebody gonna say something, right? Like in this kind of situation, somebody's gonna say something, and everybody's quiet. They're not snitching on Tren De Aragua, and they're not snitching on CBZ Management either. If you ask me, I think CBZ Management might possibly be just as dangerous, you know what I'm saying, as Tren De Aragua. But that's just an assumption. Wouldn't want to put anything that's not true on anybody. Residents have pushed back against the claim that the gang has overtaken their complex. The mayor is out of his orbit. Carlos Ordos Gotti, a resident at the complex at 12th Avenue and Dallas Street, told Denver Gazette news partner 9 News, "There has been false information on behalf of us, but no one has come to talk to us, those of us that live here." So now they had this question right here, and we're going to get into this a little bit later because there's an article that's come out. An official statement has been made. There's a lot of rumors and like vloggers and stuff like that online, and people are saying stuff. But official word has actually been made from a particular chapter of this organization. So we're going to cover it because it's in a press release. All right. Are the Hells Angels coming to Colorado to start a gang war? Aurora police say they are monitoring the situation, but do not believe the posts are credible. Various, mostly anonymous, social media accounts have made the claim and posted videos which didn't show Hells Angels or were taken a month ago. One video from July shows motorcyclists participating at an Insanos motorcycle club event in Brazil. Another video is from Sturgis motorcycle rallies. So they just posted all these pictures and just threw somebody's name on it. Who are the Venezuelan gang's leaders? According to Insight Crime, Hector Rutherford Guerrero Flores, also known as Nino Guerrero, is the leader of Tren De Aragua gang, directing operations from Torrejon prison until September 2023. Guerrero had strengthened his control over Tren De Aragua by bringing together other key criminals who became his closest associates. Now, do you guys remember when we first started talking about Tren De Aragua last year, and a lot of those articles from the New York Post kept asking the question, what would happen if Tren De Aragua linked up with MS-13? I think now it kind of makes sense why they're asking that question. And the reason why I think that they're asking that question is because this seems like it's one of this gang's strengths to be able to link up with other gangs and start doing business with them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jay. What's good with you, bro? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Among them were Larry Almurray Alvarez, known as Larry Changa, Johan Jose Guerrero, also known as Johan Petrica. Prior to a major raid on the facility, he managed to escape, with reports from Venezuelan civil society suggesting he received advance notice. His whereabouts are currently unknown. I bet you his whereabouts are somewhere in the United States. How many people would agree that this dude is probably somewhere in the United States? If you guys would agree that this dude is probably in the United States somewhere, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Homeboy probably had a shelter near you, for real, for real. We probably seen him on TV and got a different name. That would be the best deal. That would be the best situation for him. Come here, undocumented, nobody be able to prove who you are. They throw you over the border, catch and release, and you get shipped off to wherever you want to go and start a new life. Everybody know who you are, though, but they know that you a tough gangster, so ain't nobody gonna snitch on you. So you can basically just call shots and be a ghost. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? That fool here or in Canada. Allegedly, more than likely, I'm making an assumption. Not saying that is a statement of fact. You know what I'm saying? What are police doing to stop Tren De Aragua? The police have arrested several suspects, saying they are tied to or are documented members of the gang. Now, again, how do you have documents on undocumented people? Let's start there. They're documented members of the gang, but yet they're undocumented. So you have information that ties them to this gang, but you don't have no social security number, birthday, or place of origin. Okay. On September 4th, the police said all 4 suspects arrested in connection with a shooting at an apartment in late July had connections to the gang. The city also produced a video in which police officials sought to reassure the public that things are under control at an apartment complex, as 2 police officers stood behind her talking with someone at the entrance of one of the units. The video appeared to be an attempt by the police to accomplish at least 2 goals: to show that officers are on the ground and to counter any perception that the city has, quote unquote, lost control of the situation. And I would agree with this media outlet here that was probably just like some type of photo op. You know what I'm saying? I would agree that that's probably just some type of photo op to try to, make people have faith in the government, because that's the last thing that you want to do as a government, is display to the people that you have no control over the government, because at that point, your government's value will crash. It's gone down to 0. Once your government's value has gone down to 0, that means that society in that given area has completely imploded. And that's the one thing that they're trying to avoid from happening. You know what I'm saying? If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all would disagree, and give me a thumbs down. And shout out to everybody that's watching, man. I really appreciate y'all being here. If y'all haven't smashed that like button yet, please do me a favor. Take a moment, smash that like button. We got 21 people watching and we got 15 likes. Let's try to get the likes to 36. So everybody take a moment, hit that like button. If you haven't hit that like button, do it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do it. Share the stream. Tag somebody that you know is interested in this type of stuff in your post. All right. Let's get it. What are local leaders saying about Venezuelan gangs in Colorado? Officials, including Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman, have acknowledged the gang's presence in the Denver metro region, but have pushed back on the portrayals that the city was overrun by the gang. And again, I don't think that anybody was making those portrayals saying the city was overrun. I think people were just saying that the gang was in the city and that certain issues are taking place, like that massive infestation at the apartment. Aurora officials earlier dismissed claims by an apartment operator that gang activity precluded it from doing its job, and then changed their tone after a video emerged of armed men believing to be members of a gang barging into an apartment unit. Is Tren De Aragua in Colorado because of an influx of Venezuelan migration? Ooh, y'all answer that one in the comment section. If y'all think that answer is a yes, give me a thumbs up. If y'all think that answer is a no, give me a thumbs down. And shout out to Jesse for liking and sharing. I appreciate you, bro. The gang took advantage of waves of migration from Venezuela to push more members to the United States, according to a report by the Washington Examiner. Now, let me ask you guys this question. So they talk about single-age men, right? Let's break this down. Let's break this down. We've seen all these videos and analysis on Fox News and all these different places, and they talking about all these single-age military men, right? But I brought up the question, if these people are undocumented, how do we know what presents as a family is actually a family? So when we see single-age men, we're just lucky. We just happen to see those single-age men. How many of those single-age men are disguised as a fake father paired with a woman who's there for exploitation that's being smuggled in by them as well? So you will see two people, a man and a woman. They might have a child, some arbitrary child. You think that that's a family unit, but actually it's a woman with a child and a member of Tren De Aragua, and they're hiding amongst the appearance of a family. What's to say that that's not the case when they show these quote-unquote families? Remember, none of these people have documents. So if you ask me, when it comes to people not having documents, you should treat it with like how you treat any situation of uncertainty. Any situation of uncertainty should always be looked at as worst case scenario until proven otherwise or until the situation is under control. Then you can use normal protocols. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. What's good with it, Brooklyn Queen? At least that's how I operate. Any situation that has the highest level of risk or the highest level of uncertainty, I treat it as if it's a worst case scenario until I've developed some learning curve or until I've developed some element of risk management. Once I've developed some element of risk management or some learning curve, I'm going to start adjusting how I deal with the situation based on my ability to control or alter or affect or influence the situation. Until I don't know of a way of doing that, I'm going to operate in worst case scenario. Say, for instance, I didn't know how to drive. I'm not going to get in the car and try to drive because my assumption is I'm going to get in the car accident and kill myself. I'm just not going to even take the chance. Now, what I've done is I've eliminated the chances of me causing a car accident by driving. There's still a small percentage that I could get into a car-related injury by some other driver hitting me and harming me. But as far as me being behind the wheel and causing my own self-harm, I've virtually eliminated all possibility of that by excluding the activity. That's the way I deal with risk. You know what I'm saying? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. It might make for a boring life, but it also makes for, in most cases, you know what I'm saying, a pretty long and fruitful one too. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, for months, I have sounded the alarm about Tren De Aragua and the threat this gang poses to Americans, Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez said back in June. Tren De Aragua conceals its members. Now, see, if they conceal their members within groups of asylum seekers, then what's to say that those guys that are paired with the women are not a fake family? Remember, I kept asking the question about fake families. How many people remember me asking, who's to say that these are actual families? And bam, what do? We find out that that's Tren De Aragua's mode of operation. That's what they do. That's what they specialize in. And then it's easy to just sit there and say, I left my family back in my country. There's that. Well, he left his family back in his country. Are you serious? That's just something they can say. It's the same as when I don't feel like reaching in my pocket. I forgot my ID, but I come here every day. Just tell me, you know what I'm saying, what I'm trying to buy. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing to me that, like, come on, man. Like, this is supposed to be a professional level. You know what I mean? And, like, they falling for this kind of stuff. So what we know now is we know that one of their methods of concealing things is that they use this as a strategy. Like, they use this as a strategy. So now here it says, for months, I have sounded the alarm about Tren De Aragua and the threat this gang poses to Americans. Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez said back in June. Tren De Aragua conceals its members within groups of asylum seekers. So you find a woman, you find a kid, you stick Tren De Aragua with them. Tren De Aragua takes them in a corner, says, you say anything, you know what I'm saying? We're going to, you know what I'm saying, take you back somewhere and leave you there, and we'll be the only ones crossing the border. The woman and the child stay scared. They perform like a Grammy-winning nominee because they don't want to die. And then next thing you know, they're here in the United States. They probably got that down to a doggone science. Especially if this is a tactic that they've observed, that this is something that they do that's specific to them. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Tren De Aragua conceals its members within groups of asylum seekers in order to gain access to the U.S., the report said. Border Patrol agents have difficulty screening people because Venezuela doesn't share in-country crime data with the U.S. to examine and report it. Well, that means that they should be an automatic no entry. Especially if they don't have no documents. Now, if they got documents and they're using a legal pathway, that's a different story. But if you don't have a legal pathway and you come in with nothing but excuses, nah, bro, you got that Tren De Aragua stuff going on down there. Y'all too dangerous, man. We can't even let you in. We got to put you on a bus and take you somewhere. They shouldn't even be releasing these people into the society. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree that they shouldn't be even releasing these people into the society, then give me a thumbs up. If you guys think that they should release people into the society, and I'm being too hard and I'm being irrational and I'm being unruly, and come on, Rob, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Grind and Motivate. Everybody deserve a chance now. You know what I'm saying? What does Tren De Aragua mean in English? Tren De Aragua means Aragua train. It's a nod to the gang's original roots in a railway project in Venezuela, according to Chilean publication Ex Ante. Maybe that's what that means, Ex Ante. The project was part of the 2006 National Socialist Railway Development Plan, which never came to fruition. Well, I mean, National Socialist. That's interesting, right? So, you know, this literally can be said that Tren De Aragua developed out of the left. It can literally be said that the Tren De Aragua developed out of a leftist movement. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that might be why the left is sympathetic to him? Because National Socialist, those them dudes that was over in World War II also. Huh. Just a thought. Putting two and two together, right? Aragua is one of the 23 states of Venezuela, located in the northwestern part of the country. What tattoos does the Tren De Aragua gang have? According to law enforcement agencies in El Paso, New York, and Chicago, gang members have been known to get tattoos featuring the Nike logo of NBA legend Michael Jordan. So these are some anti-black people that have a black man tattooed on them, along with his jersey number 23. The number is to reference 23 De Niro, a neighborhood in Venezuela linked to a revolutionary group from the 1980s. Now take a wild guess what type of revolutionaries them people was. Take a wild guess what type of revolutionaries them people was. Now we about to look these people up here. 23 De Niro. I need to write that down. I'm gonna find a screenshot of how it describes them and post it if I remember. Other typical gangs include crowns, images of weapons like AK-47s, stars, and gas masks. Some of the members of Tren De Aragua gang sport tattoos with the initials HJ, representing Hijos de Dios, or sons of God. Another common phrase seen in their tattoos is hasta la muerte, meaning until death. Not all gang members have tattoos. However, as multiple outlets and law enforcement agencies have reported, does Tren De Aragua have gang colors? It isn't known whether the gang affiliates with specific colors. That's interesting. How do you not know that? I would assume that they probably have some type of colors related to the Venezuelan flag if somebody actually paid attention. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's just me. Are there other prominent gangs known to operate in the Denver metro area? In 2017, police estimated that Denver was home to around 38,000 gang members spread across 220 different gangs. In Colorado Springs, law enforcement identified about 1,300 gang members connected to 97 different gangs during the same year. According to documents from the U.S. Justice Department, prominent gangs in Denver include the Bloods, Crips, Serranos 13, and you know what that 13 means, Gallant Knights, Insane, Northside Mafia, and Gangster's Disciples. So they got some GDs out there. Denver police did not provide specific information regarding current gang activity in the city. DPD does not discuss gangs by name as we do not want to give them notoriety, a department spokesperson told the Denver Gazette. We do have a team that focuses on these criminal enterprises and work to prevent gang involvement, disrupt violence, arrest suspects, and investigate gang crimes. All right, so this is a pretty interesting article. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, since we've been so on this from day one, it didn't really give us anything extra that we needed to know, but it did give us some insights as to the political affiliations and the political movements that these things arose out of, which is interesting. I'm not surprised because, you know, you'd be surprised if you look at all of the roots of political movements where a lot of these quote unquote gangs arise out of. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be funny. Y'all gonna think I'm sounding crazy, but if y'all go back and look, you can do the research. They all come out of like some Democrat, leftist, socialist type movements. That's why I always tell people be careful with that fist. You know, everybody throw up the fist. It's a meaning to that fist that most people don't really be associated with, that they don't really know about. They think they're just doing a black power fist. That fist mean more than black power. That fist is not. That fist is something that I don't know whether it was culturally appropriated by other movements or if it's something that we kind of adopted when there was coalitions back in those days. But regardless of whatever the case is, that fist don't mean everything that y'all think that it means. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says Hell's Angels respond to claims that they're headed to Aurora to fight the Venezuelan gang. All right. So now here it says in recent days, rumors have been circulating online that claim Hell's Angels Motorcycle Club is headed to Aurora, Colorado en masse to fight off the Venezuelan Tren De Aragua gang alleged to have taken over multiple local apartment complexes. The rumors spread like wildfire, with posts online said to capture groups of motorcyclists en route to location. In response, hold on, I'm about to pull this up real quick. In response, the Rocky Mountain chapter of the Hells Angel posted a statement on social media disputing what has been said. All right, so they posted a they made some type of post that said that this ain't true. Let me see. Hold on real quick. Oh, okay. You know what? Actually, they got a picture of it. It's on the Instagram page. A screenshot of the letter is on the Instagram page. I'm gonna put the link in the chat for anybody that want to see it. All right. Real quick shout out to y'all. If y'all haven't hit that like button, do me a favor, take a moment, hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and also please share the stream to your social media. So here go the official site. This is the link to the Instagram page, and it looks like the first post on the Instagram page is that statement. All right, I'm gonna put it in the Discord too, real quick. Give me a second. If y'all not part of the Discord, please do me a favor, take a moment, hit that Discord link that's pinned in the chat. If the Discord link doesn't work, let us know, and one of the mods will get you a brand new link. All right. Let's see. Throw this up in there. Boom. All right, cool. All right, so now it says the rumor spread like wildfire, with posts online said to capture groups of motorcyclists en route to the location. And as we know, these are just all old videos. In response to these claims, the Rocky Mountain chapter of the Hells Angels posted a statement on social media disputing what had been said. All right, so as you guys can see right here, they posted a statement disputing what has been said. So that means that if what had been said is that they coming, they basically was like, we ain't coming. A social media rumor claiming that the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club is headed to Aurora, Colorado to violently confront Venezuelan immigrants has gone viral. Most of these posts regurgitate this lie in an attempt to validate it with videos of motorcycles riding in an organized pack. Reads the response from the group. The Hells Angel Motorcycle Club strongly denies the foundation and validity of these absolutely ridiculous and false claims. And I told y'all this was false because ain't nobody about to move like that. Like, nobody about to do that. Hells Angel MCs did not involve itself in political issues outside of motorcycling. And I was about to say, despite the fact that they are a WS group, being involved in any type of political movement or being involved in anything that substantiates society is absolutely against the tenets of a 1% motorcycle gang. The whole idea and premise of these type of organizations is to exist outside of the political system because they don't believe in it. That's why they call it an outlaw motorcycle gang. They exist outside of the law. It's part of their whole identity. So for them to do something on behalf of a politician, it don't make sense. And a lot of these dudes is felons, so they can't participate in the political processes anyway. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of reasons why I just like that just don't sound right. First and foremost, ain't no organized criminal gonna move like that. And second of all, that's kind of against the tenets of what they stand for if they're wearing that 1% diamond. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, and the thing is that stuff is serious. Like them dudes is like they kind of wild with they code of beliefs and laws. Like if you get caught doing some stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, that they be on some wild stuff. So I just that seemed like kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the statement goes on to note that the club concerned itself only with motorcycle enthusiasm and benefiting the communities that the club resides in. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Which, you know, of clearly highly opinionated as to what a benefit is, right? According to the club, the false and impressionable narrative included in the post were made related to the rumor that are merely an engagement play. The club also called out how the claims may perpetuate negative stereotypes about club members. While the statement sends a strong message that the Hells Angels won't be coming to Aurora to fight off the Tren De Aragua gang, local police are working to address the situation. On September 4th, it was announced that all 4 suspects related to a shooting with alleged connections to the Venezuelan gang have been arrested. All right. So there's that. So that should lay that to rest. Now, mind you, throughout the whole rest of the week, you know what I'm saying, until all of this stuff blows over and all that, man, we probably still gonna see mad videos on YouTube and people saying stuff and all that. But them you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like when people be saying stuff like that, making them type of claims, especially like you making some claims about like some stuff like that. People need to be careful. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. I wouldn't advise people to do that. But, you know, again, it's YouTube and people do wild, crazy stuff on YouTube. So it is what it is. You can't tell people nothing. So they're going to do what they do. Right? If y'all agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Shamika for liking, forcing. Definitely appreciate. I got it. Yo, Shamika, leave a comment after the stream so I could throw you a wrench on there. Make sure y'all show Shamika some love for liking, forcing. We got 26 in the chat, 21 likes. If everybody could take a moment, smash that like button. Let's get it up to 40. You know what I'm saying? So next we're going to move to California. All right? We're going to move to California because there's some stuff going on out there in California. They dealing with the border crisis too, and they're not happy about it. I don't know, though. You know what I'm saying? California, at this point, they looking like the after picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, like places in the Midwest, we looking like the before picture. California, Texas, Arizona, places like that, they looking like the after picture. You know what I'm saying? Definitely looking like an after picture. So here we go. All right. Californians in the 4th year of border crisis, and it's shout out to the people that's in here from California. It's the 4th year of border crisis of the Biden-Harris administration, right? Because the Biden-Harris administration. But I would say that California probably has been dealing with a prolonged border crisis. I remember I used to watch the George Lopez show every now and then, and I remember one time George Lopez said he was making a joke about Latino people, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, the only time he said, now again, YouTube manual reviewer, this is not me saying a negative comment about Latino people. This is me repeating a joke by the comedian George Lopez. George Lopez said the only time Mexicans go up a mountain, because it was when the daughter wanted to go join the ski club. He said the only time a Mexican climb up a mountain is when they could see San Diego on the other side. I had me dying laughing, you know what I'm saying? So based on that, and that was way before Joe Biden was the president when George Lopez had made that comment, you know what I'm saying? So based on that, clearly it's been some border issues popping off, you know what I'm saying, before Joe Biden got in office, right? But Joe Biden just made it worse because he don't know what's going on half the time. I would say more than half the time, you know what I'm saying? But we've had 4 years now of somebody not going on half the time, so that's really bad. You know what I'm saying? They all got cups of ramen noodles over there, some oodles of noodles. You know what I'm saying? So now here says, frustrated voters in Southern California ripped the Biden-Harris administration and blamed the White House for problems caused by an influx of illegal migrants at the border over the past year. Members of the White House Judiciary Committee visited the San Diego region of California on Thursday for a border tour and to meet with local officials Friday as residents vented about how the increase of illegal immigrants coming across the state's border with Mexico directly affects the life for residents. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something, man. And people, like, sometimes like gradual changes are not really noticed by people. How many of you all have noticed that the migrant crisis has gotten so bad that Mexicans are not even coupled with the idea of illegal immigrants anymore? Like, they're not even, like, nobody thinks of Mexicans and illegal immigrants hand in hand anymore. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane? Think about that. That used to be like, you know, they would call them the slurs, you know what I'm saying, the WBs and all of that. Don't nobody even say that anymore. Don't nobody even say that anymore. And you know what's crazy? I just realized that I streamed this to Rumble with the wrong thumbnail. It's the thumbnail that supposed to be the stream that I'm doing this morning. So I got a stream that got Roland Martin and Sabby Sab's face on it, you know what I'm saying, on the thumbnail, streaming on Rumble, but I'm talking about this migrant crisis issue. So that's hilarious. Shout out to Patrick. Patrick said, what's even crazier is how a lot of W's don't care. Now, here go my question. Why is it crazy that they don't care? They did not care people. So why? I mean, you know what I'm saying? To me, it should just be normal. And my thing is, let them not care. That's why they at where they at. You know what I'm saying? Let them not care. It shows that they don't care. And my thing is we shouldn't take up the mantle of caring either. We only need to care about it as it applies to us and deal with the issues as they apply to us. You know what I'm saying? To me, you know, like, I don't really care if they care or not. To me, they've shown enough history of I don't have no expectations of them caring about anything. Somebody could tell them, yo, it's a giant Jupiter-sized asteroid coming toward the Earth at light speed. You know what I'm saying? What do you want to do? Just sit around and be a victim? Like that's what their response will be. So like, why even bother? Patrick said because they always effing with us. We be choosing not to F with them back. That's exactly what we do. They effing with us. Okay, F with them back. Every time I go live on YouTube, the reason why I do my content the way that I do and say the stuff that I say and say it how I say it is effing with them back. I be extra with all kind of stuff, man. I ain't gotta be as extra as I be, but I be extra like that on purpose. But like, I don't like a lot of people not wired like that. And to me, the lack of wiring to be able to combat and deal with a situation, me personally, I know this is gonna sound bad, but that doesn't entitle one to the sympathy of someone else. You know what I'm saying? You either make an adjustment or you just continue to bang your head against the wall. And I think that what we see in many cases is a lot of us bang our heads against the wall. We literally sit there and have an expectation of people who are different than us to be the same as us while we talk amongst ourselves about how different they are than us. Like, it really don't make any sense. Think about that. Think about that. All everybody do online all day is talk about how different they are than us. And then we expect them to have the same thought processes, same kind of culture, same type of empathy, same type of emotions, same type of like, just, you know, it's supposed to be the same. But at the same time, no, we different. So are we the same or are we different? If we're truly different, I think that what people need to do is acknowledge that we're different and then start using the differences to improve our situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have expectations of other black people to be the same as me, let alone people that's not the same race as me. I don't have no expectation that nobody be no carbon copy of me. I don't even expect nobody to be within like plus, you know what I'm saying, 5 to 10 standard deviations of me. But I think that because of the way that society has programmed people to believe that we're supposed to have some type of expectations of other people based on ourselves, despite the fact that reality has shown time and time again that that's not going to be a case on an individual level, and it's not going to be a case on a group level. So the question that you then have to ask is, why do people continue to have those expectations? And to me, it goes into the inefficiency of human emotion. The inefficiency of human emotion. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. If we go back to all the live chats on this channel and look at and examine the live chats, I guarantee you every single live chat, we could find at the very least 10 comments thoroughly explaining why people are different than us. And then in that same live stream, I guarantee you we'll find 10 to 15 comments trying to figure out why those people are different than us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they do. That's just what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody could sit there, man, what's wrong with lions and tigers, man? They just will not stop being predators. They won't stop eating these animals. You know what I'm saying? Like gazettes, you know what I'm saying? Gazelles, they be running around, not bothering nobody. And here come a tiger just biting, breaking their leg and eating them. Why they do that? Why they do that? Because it's how they wired. Ain't nobody trying to rationalize with no tiger. Ain't nobody trying to rationalize with no lion. Ain't nobody trying to rationalize with no gorilla. That's just what they do. See, that's the problem with society. In society has put like a false overlay on how natural processes actually occur. See, like society is like an enzyme. See, like an enzyme is a chemical that slows down chemical processes. It's not as abrasive as a catalyst. Like catalyst and enzyme are similar, but they're not the same though. An enzyme makes that process more palatable. All the processes that we got that go on inside of our body, if those was done with catalysts, we would blow up because of all the hydrocarbon reactions. So in order to do that, you have to do it in a way where it breaks them down slower and takes different routes to do the same type of metabolism. We combust stuff the same way that cars do to eat. Carbohydrates is the same as gasoline. The same way the car takes in air, breathes out exhaust, carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. That's our you know what I'm saying? The exhaust pipe, and the exhaust is the lungs. I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing. That's why I call humans the human machine. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Except for we use enzymes so that we don't have to operate at them high temperatures. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that a process is going to be a process. You just got to understand the process. But it's going to always be, because that's just how it's wired. That's how it's designed. That's how it's engineered. However, whatever the engineer was, however that engineering occurred, whatever created the data set that's within the ranges of all the possibilities, that's just how it is. For them, that's just how it is. So at the point of when you notice that that's just how it is, you have to decide how you're going to interact in nature to deal with the reality of that's just how it is. And in my opinion, there's clear-cut evidence that we make counterintuitive decisions about these type of things on a lot of opportunities. And I me personally, I don't understand why. You know what I'm saying? Again, I think it's the inefficiency of human emotion. Shout out to Carlton Wade. What's good with it, bro? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Let me know what y'all think. I could be crazy. You know what I'm saying? I could be crazy. You know? But then I might not be, though. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, too many stories for too long have not been told. It's the reason why we brought people here today, said Representative Darrell Issa, a Republican in California, whose district included the Santee and Vista communities where lawmakers toured and held the hearing. The panel of 5 witnesses lamented how the Biden-Harris administration's handling of the border affected them as illegal immigrants released into their communities, disrupted hospital operations, children being bused to school, and led to more than 1,200 drug-related deaths in one county alone last year as fentanyl seeped over the border. All right, now, again, right, here go another situation. People always ask that question about the drugs, right, because of how the fentanyl situation is being taken care of versus the crack situation being taken care of. People always ask this question, and it's bizarre to me. Why is the fentanyl situation being taken care of different than the crack situation being taken care of? What do y'all think? What's the answer to that question? Shout out to everybody that's watching too. I appreciate y'all. We got 30 people watching. That's what's up. If everybody could take a moment, smash that like button. If you guys haven't hit the bell, please do me a favor, take a moment, hit that bell. And also, please share the stream to your social media. Why do you guys think that the crack epidemic is treated different than the fentanyl epidemic, or the opiate epidemic, I should say? Why do you guys think that? Y'all got any answers for me? Because people say that all the time. I think that a lot of those people that were addicted to crack, they should get all of the healthcare reimbursements for all of the treatments that people that get heroin addiction that they get, and meth addiction and all of that. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Now, Brooklyn Queen says the demographic of the casualties. Now, how is the demographic of the casualties related to how they to the way that it's dealt with? How? And another thing that's interesting is that they treat the dealers of heroin and fentanyl and all that, they treat them different than they treated the dealers of crack. The government made deals to get the dealers of crack paid. They making deals to get the dealers of fentanyl slayed. But here go my question. The wider question is, why do people ignore that? Why do people ignore that? Let me ask you this. How many decades do it take to figure out one question? Let me ask you guys this: if the black experience in the United States was a multiple choice question and it was a timed test, everybody would have failed it already. If you ask me, if you had an hour to take this test, man, it's like generations of people that ain't figured this out yet. Everybody would have failed. And what's crazy about it is the stuff is common sense. Would you guys agree? Right. Shout out to you guys can hit that Clubhouse link. I ain't been on Clubhouse in a minute, but if y'all go over there, if y'all got Clubhouse, going over there and join that. I might hit it one day once if I get a new iPad one of these days. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said the W's get treatment and rehab. The blacks got jail and recently free crack pipes. Right. Now here go my question. Why? That's my question. See, like, here's the answer to that question. And it's just so ironic to me. You know, like a lot of times, you know, you hear like Dr. Cornel West calls everybody brother and stuff like that. Don't nobody look at you like a brother. Don't nobody look at you like a sister. When non-black people look at each other, they look at each other like brothers, sisters, and cousins. When they look at us like they at the zoo. And if you pay attention to how we get treated in society like feral animals. Now, the inefficiency of human emotion will make somebody feel like crap about that, instead of actually understanding how much of a threat that is to your well-being and doing what's necessary to get yourself to a position to where that can be combated and made sure to never happen again. There's never any sympathy for just getting rid of any black people. Matter of fact, it's incentivized. Now, there's nothing official, no policies officially that say that. But if you pay attention, it was okay to, you know, just bury black people and throw them away when they got high on crack. But we got to make sure that we preserve white people. We don't want feral black people out here reproducing, but we're going to give all kind of, in vitro fertilization is a big deal because we want white people to have kids. When are people going to understand that about these people, man? I don't know what it is, and I'm telling you, I think it's the poison of religion, which is one of the reasons why I'm completely against religion. I have no desire or need to be loved by anybody. And I think that people have made themselves drunk and weak with this idea of love and like some type of emotional human bonding and stuff like that. You know, like I don't, you know, certain people, like I say, on an interpersonal basis is a different story than on a group dynamic basis. But, you know, I mean, you can't even operate and deal with certain problems the way you need to operate and deal with them if you have to abide by some sacred law. That sacred law was probably allegedly put into place before any of these problems even started. So people don't want to unwire themselves. And that's the reason why when the hammer hits your knee, you always have a knee-jerk reflex, and you kind of can't figure out why the knee-jerk reflex is there. And you think that the knee-jerk reflex is just what's supposed to happen, when actually you're supposed to control yourself at all times. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to see reality. Shout out to Keep It 100. That's what Keep It 100 was talking about when he said ninjas was blue pill. That's the red pill right there. I mean, what is the evidence that other groups of people do not see us as animals? If actions speak louder than words, how have other groups of people interacted with us throughout history? Show us egregious acts of harm and violence that we've done toward other groups of people versus harmful and egregious acts that they've done towards us. I mean, you got a whole political movement of, well, how can we get it to where we let these people mask? We let these people mask as human beings, but actually they're just space-taking primates that we let walk around in society with us, and we kind of got to control the numbers just so things don't get out of control. Okay, we'll tell them, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that they delete their babies, you know what I'm saying, we'll play with them with stupid stuff, you know, we'll give them some stupid toys because toys keep kid minds busy, you know what I'm saying, like they just do all the animal protocols. The same way you give a dog a ball to play with, they give you a nice expensive car to play with. Now go get out of my face. You know what I'm saying? And to me, my dilemma in this is that it's irritating that other people refuse to accept this reality when it's right there in front of their face. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. See, this is why I don't take people serious. Because to me, as much as people see on YouTube, right, and even on real life, people talk about this quote unquote white acceptance thing, right? And see, to me, right, if you ask me, society is white acceptance. So look, the little micromanagement stuff that people be trying to do to try to discredit or like wearing clothes outside, that's white acceptance. As much as people talk about natural versus unnatural and all these crazy arguments that people make, okay, let's take your natural versus unnatural arguments and apply that to the whole idea of quote unquote white acceptance. If you wear pants and a shirt, that's white acceptance. Because you wasn't wearing pants and shirts prior to Europeans coming in contact with you. That's white acceptance. So I ain't trying to hear, you know what I'm saying, if I got a friend that I'm cool with from my school and we kicking it, having a good time, you see us at the bar, oh, I seen you kicking it with that white boy. You know what I'm saying? You just trying to have some white acceptance. You know what I'm saying? You're saying that while speaking that to me in English. And you're speaking English because if you spoke some type of wild language, you know what I'm saying, that is not normal to the United States, everybody gonna look at you like you're crazy. You're trying to be accepted. You're trying to, and even acceptance, you may not think that it's acceptance, but acceptance simply means to be allowed to interact. You know what I'm saying? Using money as currency is a form of W acceptance. See, the people that don't like cryptocurrency, they want you to use the money with the slave owner faces on it. But they'll sit there and call people like me who use cryptocurrency whatever kind of names it is that they call us. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I minimize the amount of money that I use with slave owner faces on it and maximize the amount of money that I use that's in the form of digital currency. But, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? People say what they say to help them sleep at night, but I don't sleep. So, you know, shout out to Khalid. What's good with it, bro? Hit the button. Shout out to Carlton. Hit the button. Khalid said, yo, BLR, you should revisit that movie, The Purge, Election Day. And the hints they dropped in that movie applied to today's affair, no doubt. Yeah, facts, bro. They be dropping all type of hints in the movies. The predictive programming, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? People be saying, shout out to Carlton. This really about to be off code, bro. It ain't reparations unless the money got a slave owner on it, right? I ain't say it. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my content. Unless it got that good slave owner portrait on it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't reparations. All right. That's what we banging. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, as more immigrants began crossing from Mexico into California last fall, human smugglers in Mexico shifted people away from Texas and further west. overcrowded Border Patrol facilities opted to let migrants in custody be released directly into communities because local nonprofit groups were overwhelmed and unable to take the hundreds being encountered daily. Now, why didn't they just release them back into Mexico? That's my question. Why didn't they just release them back into Mexico? They released them into the community. That don't make any sense. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen, hit the button. Hit the button, y'all. Yo, hey, and speaking of hitting the button, hit the like button too. If y'all haven't hit the like button, do that for me real quick. Let me see where we at. We got 29 people watching. We got 23 likes. Let's try to get the likes to 50. All right, so now here it says between September of 2023 and May of 2024, as many as 154,000 migrants who crossed the state's border illegally were released into the country from a pop-up facility set up in the country, according to Riverside County District Attorney Michael Hestrin. So again, you got to ask, like, with some of these weird practices that they do, like, why would they have done this? Why would they have done this? Let me ask you guys this question. Do you think that a Trump administration would do this? And again, I'm just asking the question. I don't know. We can't say what they do until they do it, unfortunately. We could try to hold them to some type of standard. You know what I'm saying? But, you know. The Biden-Harris administration approach to border security and immigration has significantly impacted California, with San Diego County at the forefront of these challenges, testified Hestrin. Let me ask you guys this question. Do you guys think that the Venezuelan people, a lot of them, are migrating to the United States because of centuries of policies in Venezuela, like the Biden-Harris policies that have completely crashed the country to where it's unlivable and now they got to go elsewhere? In addition to other things going on like Western imperialism. We can't forget about that, but that's another conversation for another day. So now here it says the district attorney explained that the temporary center served as many as a $6 million stopgap solution to help manage the influx. According to Santee Mayor John Minto, 99% of immigrants who passed through the center continued on to destinations nationwide where they had a family or awaiting connections awaiting their arrival. And again, if they're undocumented, how do you know that these are actually family members, or how do you know that these ain't gang contacts that they done set up here already? How do you know this stuff? How can we say with 100% certainty that they're actually going to their destination if we don't have any documents on these people that connect anything to anything? How can we do that? So now here it says, but the influx of people into the region also affected other aspects of life. Hospitals were significantly overcrowded, while law enforcement also saw retail theft soar, according to Vista, California, Mayor Judge John Franklin. A regional anti-retail theft task force found that illegal immigrants worked with organized criminal organizations to steal and then sell those items, forcing some businesses to shut their doors. So again, I mean, why is it that they're so adaptable into crime? Like, this report is saying that. We're also dealing with high rates of crime. Stats on crimes committed by illegal immigrants in California are not available, unlike in Texas, because California state policymakers refuse to allow our local law enforcement to collect the data, Franklin said. We can extrapolate that tens of thousands of crimes are committed in our community, the same as Texas, that would not have occurred if we had a secure border. So now let me ask you guys this question. What does it help to not report migrant crime? What does that help? How does that help anything? We're just not going to report migrant crime. Does that actually create a situation where you could be dealing with a situation that's a lot more dangerous than it actually is, and you're given a false impression of how dangerous it is because the crime statistics are skewed because they're not being reported or people are being told not to report them? Yeah, sounds like NY. Shout out to Patrick. Patrick said, wait, I thought it was the blacks and retail theft. That's what they show on the media. And the reason why they show that is because they got to keep reinforcing the idea that if you let an animal out of a cage, this is what an animal will do. That's what that is about. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the president is required by the Constitution to take care to faithfully execute the laws, Franklin added. Unfortunately, President Biden and Vice President Harris have decided to ignore our border and immigration laws. Drug overdoses spiked to 1,203 in San Diego County last year, more than double from several years ago, as fentanyl magnets manages to get past customs officers at the border and into the community deeper and deeper into the country. Don Sharp, undersheriff for Riverside County, criticized the Biden-Harris administration for how it has said it sanctioned the border crisis. Sharp blamed the White House for an overwhelming flow of fentanyl into the community, adding that it was only made possible by complete border security failures under the current administration. Okay, so these are pretty heavy critiques. Pretty heavy critiques. What do you think is going to happen when Kamala Harris has to deal with these critiques being levied in a debate between her and Trump? How's that going to look? How's that going to work? When President Joe Biden took office, he canceled border wall construction funded by Congress, halted deportations, and ended a program that forced asylum seekers to remain in Mexico, and took other actions. So now, what if you do these kind of actions, what is that saying? What kind of message does that give? Because you shouldn't ever in any aspect of life be allowed to do a lot of actions that are opposite of what you say and then never be asked to account for the gap in difference between your actions and your words. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton says she'll just laugh and call Trump racist and then turn around and remind him that she's speaking. I'm speaking. I wasn't finished. I'm speaking. That's the whole problem. Everybody wanted you to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted you to shut up, and you're still speaking. You know what I'm saying? Soon after the number of immigrants arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border spiked, primarily the Texas border, over the past year, more migrants attempted to enter through Arizona and California than Texas, and that's probably because of Operation Lone Star. You know what I'm saying? Since Biden took office, more than 10 million immigrants have been encountered at the nation's borders, more than any two-term White House administration. Despite the dramatic decline in monthly arrests of illegal immigrants since the start of last year, Californians remain furious over the influx of people into their communities. Corey Gadarux, who lives close to the border, testified that he and others had found hundreds of personal identification documents, including passports and driver's license, that migrants had discarded at the border before taken into custody. Why am I finding the identifications of young children and newborns at the border who are being smuggled and trafficked here on a daily basis? Gadaruk said during the testimony. Yeah, so they and a lot of times, if these people are just dropping off and leaving their stuff there, you know what I'm saying, the identification, they're undocumenting themselves, right? They making themselves undocumented, dealing with those cartel people. The hearing had a lackluster turnout among members of Congress. Well, why was that? Kamala Harris wasn't there. Joe Biden wasn't there. Issa and Reps Andy Biggs and Scott Fitzgerald were only 3 out of 42 members on the committee who showed up. Given that the House is still on recess before returning to Washington, D.C. early next week, House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan did not attend and the chairman's spokesperson did not respond for a request for comment. All right, so I thought it was a pretty good article. California's still dealing with it. Everybody's still dealing with it. Yet the polls are saying something that's not consistent with the things that we're seeing people concerned with. They're also not consistent with the ideas of who people feel will be more competent with dealing with these issues. All right. So since we went to California, we got to talk about this issue that this one little neighborhood in California is having. All right. I'm going to let these two videos play real quick because this is bizarre. I don't know why this is going on, but just, you know what I'm saying, from person to person, me personally, and you guys can give me a thumbs up in the comment section if you guys agree. I'm personally asking this individual, please stop doing this. Please stop doing this. If you haven't been caught yet, just go far away where nobody will catch you and just please stop doing this because this is dumb.
Now to this, a naked man has been terrorizing residents in a mid-Wilshire neighborhood for months.
He appears at all hours of the day and night, screaming and committing lewd acts, and residents say they have had enough. Mary Beth McDade live in the mid-Wilshire neighborhood where she spoke to frightened residents. Mary Beth.
Yeah, Mike and Chair, I can tell you that these residents are frustrated and fearful. They don't know what can be done to stop a naked man from living in their yards and touching himself inappropriately. They don't feel that their children or themselves should have to live like this.
Let me ask you guys a stupid question because this is what we do here. We just ask stupid questions. Do you guys feel that somebody should have to live like that? If you guys feel that somebody should have to live like that, then give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't feel that somebody should have to live like that and they shouldn't have to deal with that on a day-to-day basis, then give me a thumbs down. I don't think anybody should have to live like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't have to deal with that nonsense.
This naked homeless man has been terrorizing a mid-Wilshire neighborhood for several weeks. That's according to...
Like, why, bro? Why?
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real. Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Like, man, that's insane. He lucky he ain't in Texas or something like that, man. One of the people out there would have took him out already. You know what I'm saying?
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real. Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Oh, man.
Residents who witness him run around naked, screaming, and at times touch himself in a sexual manner. Most nights he sleeps naked, and anywhere he can find access to someone's yard or stairwell, he will be naked and sometimes do.
See, now I'm not trying to see. This is gonna sound so bad. This is gonna sound so bad, but it is what it is. That's what I call a human vermin situation. Would you guys agree? There are such thing as human vermin, and that right there is a human vermin situation. If you guys would agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys would disagree, give me a thumbs down. I've dealt with human vermin situations. I would call squatting a human vermin situation. You know what I'm saying? This is another kind.
Not nice things.
I never felt intimidated by his presence, but when I woke up and saw him in my backyard, that's a little different when someone's on your property.
Residents who don't want us to use their names say the neighborhood is packed with children.
A lot of kids and a lot of lewd acts that are not, it's not safe for anybody.
This neighborhood is filled with 5-year-olds, 8-year-olds, teenagers, and he's being found in the backyards, and the parents are very concerned. This woman says at times he walks around with items that could be used as weapons. There have been times he's been found with a weapon, like he was arrested a few weeks ago with a taser. 2 days ago.
She came outside with she came outside with a baseball bat. How did he get the taser? Where did he get the taser from? Shout out to Carlson. Yeah, it's dangerous for everybody. It's dangerous for him. Somebody gonna take him out. He gonna go on the wrong person's porch, or you know what I'm saying, go around the wrong people, and they're not gonna play with him. They're gonna take him out. You know what I'm saying?
Around with a golf club. She says she chased him away from her property on Saturday night. Get out of here. My daughter, she's 16 years old with 3 friends. She walked in the door at 11 o'clock, and at 11:30, he was naked on my front stoop. Then on Sunday, the man reportedly identified as 51-year-old Dushan Barnett was apparently arrested for allegedly stealing clothes, towels, and camper parts from a resident. But many anticipate he'll be.
Hey, I wouldn't even say nothing if he said I stole some clothes, though. At least you at least you're moving in the right direction with that one. I ain't even gonna get mad at you. You stole some clothes. I see you walking down the street. Hey, them my shirt and pants, but that's okay though. But go ahead and put them on. You just don't come back.
Be back soon. Neighbors would like to see him removed from their neighborhood and get the mental help they believe that he needs. He doesn't show up for the trial because he's not competent, and then he comes back into this neighborhood, and most of us are feeling a little on edge. And several residents tell me that they believe that this man at one point lived in this neighborhood, and that's why he keeps coming back here, because he feels comfortable here. For now, reporting live in Mid-Wilshire, Mary Beth McDade will send it back.
So yeah, so there's that, and then they got another report of this dude. So let's see what they're talking about over here. This is wild, man. They really need to get that dude some help. They need to get him about that neighborhood, get him some help, so don't nothing happen to him. Because I'm telling you, he gonna go around the wrong people, or he gonna mess around and be in the proximity of somebody's kid or something like that, and they're not gonna be playing, and he gonna end up getting taken out. And he clearly got a mental health problem. He need to get some mental health help. Gotta be careful with calling the police. You know what I'm saying? Because the police will take him out. He seems to me like the same type of dude as that dude that they took out in Rochester, New York, that they didn't have to take out. Daniel Pruitt, if I'm not mistaken. Syracuse, New York, I should say. Daniel Pruitt. You know what I'm saying?
In some other news tonight, a peaceful Mid-City neighborhood is on high alert after a naked man is accused of terrorizing residents. Fox 11's Laura Diaz, she's live with the latest details for us tonight. This is a story, unfortunately, we've been covering time and time again.
Yes, Marla, neighbors tell us that the man shows up at all hours of the day and night. He's difficult to understand, and the story gets worse from there.
I started to crying because I am scared. Yes. I am afraid he opened the door and coming in the house.
It's 1 a.m. Friday in the 1300 block of Redondo Boulevard, and as this surveillance footage shows, a naked man is trying to break into this woman's home, screaming unintelligible words.
Man, he just chilling up there like, bruh, man.
Later, she's still too frightened to go on camera, but describes the ordeal.
He tried to open the door himself in front of my door.
Is this your front door to your house?
Yes.
Did you yell anything or say anything to him?
I just ran into wake up my husband.
Man, he's smoking.
The man wouldn't leave for an hour.
Hey, he just chilling there smoking a cigarette, man. That's wild.
He left behind booze, a lighter, and possibly marijuana. It's been a rude wake-up call for this normally quiet mid-city neighborhood. Residents feel threatened.
I'm desperate. I need somebody to come along and help us get this guy where he belongs, where he'll get help, and stop turning him back out on the street.
The man you see here is well known to families who live here. They say he's often naked, trying to break into homes and performing a lewd act on himself and seizing their sense of safety. Neighbors say the police have been called 9 times in the last 3 months, but most times the suspect is just detained or released the next morning. Friday morning, the very same day.
Man, could you imagine walking out? Could you imagine walking outside your house and like he just like is chilling on your porch or something like that? Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Win Lose a Rug said he had a blunt and some Moscato. WTF? Right. He's like, yeah, I'm about to have me a good night. You know what I'm saying? And just propped up, just got comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Threw the towel on himself, and that's it. It's good. We good. It's up. We call it a night.
He was back a few hours after terrorizing that woman. This time, neighbors had video of the naked man, and police responded. Sky Fox watched from the air as he was taken into custody.
Unfortunately, the pattern kind of continued, where we got one report early this morning, and then a second one where he came back and caused more problems. Thankfully, the neighbors did the right thing, called police, conducted
care that he actually needs. As for the city attorney's office, we're told that they will review the case. I'm Laura Diaz reporting live from Mid-City.
He's going to be right back in the street. And see, like, this is the type of cycle that happens because the shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said, I got to get the rest of my cameras up. I don't know. That's one of them type of situations you do and don't want a camera. You do and don't want one. You know what I'm saying? It's like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the problems, though, man. This is a problem, you know what I'm saying, like with society. They don't have no institutions for mental health. Most people ain't, you know what I'm saying, certified or knowledgeable on how to handle people with mental health. And you got a bunch of people that's in society that, you know, they all scared and anxious and they don't know nothing either. So they just want to tell on somebody and just, you know what I'm saying? It's just all kind of problems, man. It's all kind of problems. And like, ain't nobody really trying to deal with the problems. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to deal with the problems. That's going on right in California, man. What's Kamala Harris going to say about that? What's she going to say about that? She ain't going to say nothing about it. She probably don't even know what's going on. But I'll tell you what, though, she'll make sure that he spent 10 years in jail if she was still a prosecutor, though. She'll make sure his ass was still in jail if she was a prosecutor, though. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the stream. That's all I got, man. I hope y'all enjoy it. I've been trying to make sure that I keep up with the clips, so I'm gonna try to chop this up, put up some clips. You know what I'm saying? I just did the stream because I didn't really feel like recording it, and I figured there'll be some people that come in and check it out. So you know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all enjoyed it, but it'll definitely be up for some clips. And y'all know how it go. It'll be on members only if they yellow dollar sign it at some point until they take the yellow dollar sign off. So shout out to the new member, man. We got a new member. You know what I'm saying? We getting close to 200 on this channel. That's what's good. Shout out to Terrence Monger for joining the membership. Shout out to everybody that came out. I appreciate y'all. If y'all haven't hit that like button yet, take a moment, hit that like button. If y'all haven't shared the stream, take a moment, share the stream. If you're not part of the Discord, join the Discord. I'll see you in a few hours with this other stream that me and AB about to do. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
walk up in the life. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the marching dimes.
Come and see me.
Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Talking my shit like I'm really him. I'm the realest from my city. That's on my knee. That's on Kiwi. That's on mamas. Nigga don't believe me. Come and see me. I been dodging all that face. All these niggas working broke, but I been getting paid. All that know me from the street. Flexing for what feature? That's like every other week. Talk behind my back. I kick my feet up, have a seat. Cause at the end of the day, all these watching me as I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him, on God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him, on God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him, hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him, hold up.